Please subscribe.
Hate it or love it, the notable grille of the more 2020 Genesis G90 goes a long way. And to get a new like Genesis, that fighting to get traction every double take counts. Yes, even the newest sheet metal is spectacular. But this is the G90 sedan, which started a version, in 2016, to be marketed under the Genesis brand that is standalone. That means it is well appointed, comfy, and as silent as it has ever been. Did I mention it is also one hell of a deal? It is laborious, to say the very least. Many folks dig on it, others despise it, using fire that is pearls clutching. And while I have a tendency to fall to the end of the spectrum, my hate is waning. On the street, the G90 does not seem bad. LED lights along with the headlamp housing seem excellent, and I enjoy the way finishing just ahead of the wheel well to be picked up using all the mild. These rollers appear to have gained a sexy take since the grille of the G90, but I am firmly together. They seem like exactly what produced the stick out, and actually you would expect to see a Maybach. The G90 is just offered with 19-inch brakes. I actually think these can endure to be 20s, particularly thinking about the layout. And hey, even if the elaborate pattern is not the jam, Genesis claims that a less ostentatious collection will soon be available also. About back, the G90 includes two slender tail light strips, the base of that spans the whole diameter of the back. I am frankly not certain what to consider them. It resembles a Lincoln layout that is rejected. In the minimum, I will state that the G90 is different from stem to stern, and you won't mistake it for Audi, Lexus, BMW, or even Mercedes-Benz. One thing is for certain, although you may not think Genesis, possibly, matters are crazy indoors, as it had been 20, at which the cottage of the G90 is the same. That is not a little to Genesis that is among the interiors. It is silent and so comfy to detail, so you would believe Lexus did it. All of G90s arrive with quilted leather seats, brushed aluminum beams, and open-pore wood inlays. The seats are comfy, with modification to hug you right. You can input your height and weight, as well as the automobile will compute your seating position according to the specifications of your body. Obviously, the very best seats in the house have been from the trunk, in which the seats are warmed and power adjustable. On ultimate versions, back passengers get massage and cooling functions, also, and the ideal chair has an extendable footrest, which is set up if the front chair is pushed forwards, mechanically, natch. When it is multimedia technology you are following, the G90 supplies a strong suite. A 12.3-inch central display delivers the usual smattering of all infotainment works, such as embedded navigation, Android Auto, along with Apple CarPlay. It is possible to control everything through the dial to the middle console, or simply by touching the display. The images are not quite as amazing as what you will discover in a few of those luxury barges. That is essentially a bigger version of this infotainment applications you'll discover in brand new Hyundai and Kia vehicles. However, the attribute set is nonetheless on par with other luxury sedans. Each G90 includes telephone charging, in addition to a screen as regular, along with a lexicon system. Talking of conventional technology, the G90 does not skimp on complex driver assistance attributes. Along with blind spot tracking, high beams, programs, along with ADAS purposes, the G90 provides the niceties for its roster to 2020. The highway driving assistant in Kia Telluride along with your Hyundai Palisade creates its approach, combining rate limitation assistance, the car cruise control, and technology to produce long commutes stressful. Safe exit help will alert passengers and drivers as soon as the vehicle is stopped if cyclists or traffic are coming, therefore a doorway opens into an obstacle after the drive is finished. I am told by Genesis agents transmission, steering, and that the suspension have received alterations, only I cannot say I notice any difference without forcing a G90 back with a 2019 version. That is absolutely fine because it has ever been, that the G90 is easy and enjoyable to drive. Both engines are mated into drive along with the automatic transmission, although all-wheel drive is discretionary with powertrain. Elect for the G90, along with also the V8, must reach 16 miles per gallon city and 24 miles per gallon highway. Those amounts are lowered by all-wheel drive into 23 miles per gallon and 15 miles per gallon. The V8 provides notice and linear power delivery exhausts. I believe that the 5.0-liter engine type of matches that the G90's boulevardier personality somewhat better. There is something about a huge engine in a large sedan that simply feels right. But because nobody is purchasing a G90 because of its functionality credentials, for many individuals, the 3.3T offers more than sufficient horsepower. You're able to switch between several push modes, such as a sport setting which sharpens rotational reaction, adds a little bit of weight into the steering system and even raises the side bolsters to hold you set up somewhat better. However, I truly find it allow the world flyby and also very good to depart the G90 in its own default comfort setting. The G90 does not possess the exact identical solidity of BMW 7 Series or even an Audi A8 in the street. It may be a bit floaty compared, but by no signifies is that the ride unsorted or awkward. With steering a suspension that soaks up all of no tire or breeze sound cancelling the cottage and the lumps, I drive these objects from Los Angeles to San Francisco and back at a single. At no stage will the Genesis G90 attempt to fool you. The competitions are prone to drive, and give a larger collection of personalization alternatives and powertrains, as well as performance variations. But remember, while the lowest priced Mercedes-Benz S-Class begins at $94,000 earlier alternatives, the G90 3.3T ought to arrive in about $70,000 with the above goodies regular. Truly, this automobile's largest hurdle is not any fault of its own, but instead, its parent firm. We've got a great deal of work yet to perform that, he states. The G90 is a good vehicle and a good price, more folks simply must know it is. So it is great that the G90 seems. This grille may not be for everybody, but it turned heads, just in time to observe the Genesis badge.